Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's stories, OP's brother-in-law misses the birth of his daughter and expects OP to defend him. What is he thinking? And OP can't stand being the sole person responsible for taking care of her stepdaughter and doesn't know what to do. Am I the idiot for not defending my brother-in-law for missing the birth of his daughter even though I missed the birth of mine? So, my wife, 31 female, and I, 29 male, have 2 kids, our older son and younger daughter. My brother-in-law, Josh, 26 male, has just had a baby girl with his partner, Brad. On the day my daughter was born, 2 years ago, I was with my other brother-in-law, Dan, also 29 male, when he was hit by a car. Understandably, he was in bad shape and I called an ambulance and his parents told me my wife was in labor. My wife told me over the phone to go with Dan to the hospital and that she'd be fine. She was more worried for Dan than anyone. We were both at different hospitals, my wife at the local hospital, and Dan and I at a bigger city hospital, and it culminated in me missing my daughter being born, while I stayed with Dan so he wasn't alone and I could keep everyone updated. Dan ended up making a full recovery with some physiotherapy, and my daughter was born with no complications and I met her when she was a few hours old. Now, Josh and Brad had a baby due in late August, but Josh had a vacation with his friends booked for July. Note, it was a vacation within the country. Brad asked him not to go so close to the baby being born and I also advised him not to go, but he chose to anyway as he thought he had enough time. Evidently, he did not. Brad went into labor while he was gone and his daughter was born without him there. Like in my case, it was a few hours before he could get back to meet her. The entire family is fuming at him, because we all told him not to go on the vacation. He asked for my support because he thought I would understand, and I told him it's a completely different scenario, and that I had no choice and more importantly, my wife's permission. Apparently, he and his friends all believe that we, but more specifically me, because I should get it, are idiots because it wasn't his choice to miss the birth, because she was born premature. I think he's the a-hole because there's a huge difference between the reasons I couldn't be there versus his reasons. I seriously don't get his logic, so I'm asking you guys for some more perspective. Am I the idiot? Edit, I didn't put this in the post to avoid any off-topic questions or transphobes, but Josh's partner is a trans man, not a wife/girlfriend/lady. Edit 2, I keep getting asked this, so baby was 5 to 6 weeks early. Edit 3, so just to clarify, my wife has 2 brothers, Dan and Josh. They are brothers, not in a relationship. Oh my god. What kind of idiot is Brad married to? Who in their right mind would schedule or go on a trip close to the birth of their baby? I know sometimes emergencies or work trips come up, but come on, that's not the case. This was a fun trip with his friends. Who does that? Before OP told us that Brad was the one who was pregnant, I thought they had a surrogate or were adopting. Which would still be a very bad situation to leave your spouse to deal with all alone, not to mention missing the birth of your child by choice, but intentionally leaving your partner alone in the last month of their pregnancy, where anything can happen, and when everyone knows babies can be born early, to go on a trip with friends, is unbelievable. This guy is a selfish a-hole. I feel so sorry for Brad and this child. Josh should have canceled the trip months ago, and he and his a-hole's friends still try to drag OP into this mess, as if it were the same situation. For God's sake. OP didn't choose to miss his daughter's birth to party with his friends, he was helping his brother-in-law after a serious accident, who, by the way, is Josh's brother. This guy is unbelievable. Not the idiot OP, Josh and his friends are the ones who are, and I just feel sorry for Brad and this baby. She's only a few days old and she's not even a priority for one of her parents. And what would you do in a situation like this? Would you have canceled the trip? Or would you have gone? How would you advise OP on how to deal with a brother-in-law like this? What would you do? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Now, let's read the comments and OP's replies before we get to the update. Not the idiot, he clearly didn't have his priorities straight. If he chooses to go on a vacation when his pregnant partner is asking him not to, he is already an idiot, he is just trying to use you as a shield. His logic was that the vacation was booked pre-baby, so he should still go, which still seems stupid to me. To me too. Info: how long was he supposed to be away for? And what day of him being gone did the partner go into labor? I think it was a week-long trip. He left on Sunday morning and his partner was in labor by Thursday night/Friday morning. Not the idiot for sure. Especially because his partner is a trans man. I am cis, but as far as I understand, childbirth for a trans man can be incredibly stressful and dysphoric. Not to mention everything else that can go wrong. Yeah, his partner was really worried about how his previous hormone replacement therapy would affect the pregnancy and baby, and his dysphoria was pretty bad. The doctor said that the hormone replacement therapy shouldn't affect it, but you know how pregnant people are for worrying about stuff like that. He chose to go on a vacation knowing the risks, so he did choose to miss the birth of his child. I'm so sorry his partner had to go through that alone. I hope he had family there to support him. He did, rest assured. My wife and I, her parents and his parents too. I'd almost forgotten what it felt like to have your fingers crushed by someone in labor too, haha. OP clarifies on if Dan is his wife's brother and how she told him to be with Dan at the time of accident. Yeah, Dan is her brother. She wanted me to stay with him because there was a decent possibility we could have lost him, and she wanted someone to be with him just in case. Just a little different to going on a lad's holiday, in my opinion. How did Brad feel about Josh going on holiday? Pissed off and upset with Josh. He was really upset when he realized Josh couldn't come back in time. There are so many increased risks for complications in trans male births. I'm surprised the OBGYN didn't bash your brother-in-law over the head. Any time after month 7 his ass should have stayed at home. Where did he go that was so damn important? Lad's trip to Scotland, you know, something clearly more important than his pregnant partner. Update: am I the idiot for not defending my brother-in-law for missing the birth of his daughter even though I missed the birth of mine? Well, I wasn't expecting a response on my last post. I thought some of you might like an update. It's a happy ending, you'll be glad to hear. I did send Josh this post and he admitted that he effed up. Brad has reported to me that Josh has well and truly repented. Their baby girl is now 4 weeks old and Josh has been on night duty since she was a week old. He apologized to Brad for not being there for him and to me for dragging me into it. Both of us forgave him, and it seems everything will be okay. Their daughter is a happy, healthy little girl and a very vocal one at that. She's apparently a big fan of yelling at her dads and not sleeping, so Josh is certainly receiving his karma. Unfortunately, she's yet to meet her cousins and most of the family, but we received plenty of video calls and photos. Brad also saw the post and thanked everyone for their congratulations and support. He's recovering well at home, and he's almost ready to start binding again, as well as slowly returning to taking hormone replacement therapy. I'm sure some of you will be disappointed to hear that Josh has been forgiven, but that's just the way it goes. My niece will grow up in a happy family with 2 dads who love her, and hopefully Josh will never be so dumb again. Yeah, let's hope. Let's also hope that his stupid friends also realized they were wrong and apologized to you. Otherwise, maybe brother-in-law will have to reevaluate those friendships. Part of me wishes Josh had stayed in the doghouse for a little longer, but the focus right now is on taking care of their baby and Brad's recovery. So, I'm glad OP's brother-in-law realized what an idiot he was being and apologized to all of you. OP clarifies on the meanings of binding and HRT. Binding is the practice of flattening down the breasts with a special type of vest to make them appear non-existent. HRT, hormone replacement therapy, is injecting oneself with testosterone, for trans men, to give them more masculine features, or estrogen, for trans women, to give them more feminine features. Hope this helps. OP on his new niece's health progress after her premature birth. She was able to go home after 1.5 weeks in the NICU, as she was able to support her own breathing. I'm honestly not sure if it was the NICU, as I've never had to experience a premature baby myself. Both of mine were full term. And I did mention many times in my last post that she is a fat little thing. My wife's family does have a history of heavy babies, so that may explain it. Again, I'm just the uncle, so I don't know every single thing about her case. All I know specifically is that I was told she was sent home after 1.5 weeks. What did OP do to get Josh take his responsibility and make it right with Brad? It was actually my suggestion for him to volunteer for night duty as a means of apology. I'll never understand fathers who don't share their parental responsibilities equally. Why have children if you don't want to care for them? OP on his history with his wife's family and how healthy their relationships are. I do love that about my wife's family. I've been a FACTA member since I was 11, when I met Dan, her brother, and started dating my wife at 13, so I still really respect the amount of accountability and conflict resolution they go through as a family unit. We claim responsibility for our idiots, and we love them. Her parents are now at the point where they say they have 5 kids, their actual children, my wife, Dan and Josh, and then me and Brad, haha. Most of my friends think it's odd that my core friendship circle consists of my wife, her 2 brothers and 1 brother's partner, but it really just makes spending Christmas together really freaking easy. And OP shared a surprise. Oh, there's no doubt about it. If you can keep a secret, and because I'm absolutely dying to tell someone, my wife is actually 2 months pregnant with baby number 3. I can already sense how close they'll be with D, Josh and Brad's baby. Well, I'm happy for OP and his wife. May baby number 3 be healthy and bring lots of joy to their family. And what about you guys? What did you think of this update? Did you like it? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for not being able to take care of my stepdaughter anymore? Hi everyone. My husband, 37, male, and I, 30 female, moved abroad a few years back, and last year his daughter, 12 female, came to live with us. As much as I love her and adore her, I told my husband hundreds of times that I was not ready to have her, but he said I agreed with this the moment we got married, so I sucked it up. The thing is, she is smart, funny, and beautiful, but she has an attitude problem and a lot of other behavior issues, and this kind of thing is defying what I believe. I have OCD, I do take meds, which sometimes makes our lives harder, especially with hygiene, but no one seems to care. My husband, as well, put all the responsibility to take care of her on my shoulders, saying he is tired all the time cause he needs to work to provide us a better life. But I also work hard every day, plus taking care of the house and taking care of my stepdaughter. He says you don't have to do much for a teen of 12-year-old, but I still need to provide food. She is an extremely picky eater, clothes, be at home with her so she won't be alone. He doesn't do much around the house, and I've tried so hard to make her do some chores, but she is terrible at doing it. Everything seems more dirty after she cleans, I get stressed and then it's a mess. I believe I could tolerate all of this if my husband was better, but he doesn't seem to care. We have not been intimate for months, he doesn't even say I am pretty. We don't do anything fun together. I just go to work, take care of the house and that's it, that's my life. Recently I found a few of profiles and also a lot of apps in his phone for AI girlfriends, which is terrible. If I was in my home country I would have ended everything months ago, but since we are by ourselves here, I feel so much guilt, cause he will not be able to take care of her properly and maybe she will have to go back to her country. And I also feel guilty that I will be taking away the chance for my husband to live with his daughter. So, am I the idiot for leaving them in this situation or am I overreacting? Edit 1. Thank you so much everyone for your thoughts. I understand why some people would say everyone sucks here and essentially I feel an a-hole half of the time. To answer some questions, we were extremely bonded back home. The 3 of us. We did everything together. I bathed her, told her stories, we played together all the time, but we didn't live together, so when I was with them my time was only dedicated to her. I also did not work back there, so I was more available to do stuff with them. However, the signs were there, but I didn't see it. When we moved abroad, that was the first time we were living together, and then a lot of issues came up. I didn't have any help with cooking, cleaning or anything from him, because he had her mom and the maid to do everything for him. But I was trying to teach him, trying to raise a child, to do everything right. He does not know the weight of the labor we all have in our homes every day. I said to him I was not ready to have her yet, cause I knew all the chores would be on me, but I was not expecting the parenting would be on me as well. I also do a lot of overtime, so I really need to have the few moments I have to get some rest. I thought that maybe with some time and more money, once we get a better situation financially speaking, we would be able to have her in a better way. I thought that he would start improving at home, so that's why I told him I was not ready. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. 1. Not wanting to take care of my stepdaughter. 2. Leave my husband and stepdaughter behind. First, you're not the idiot here. Second, don't feel guilty. Your husband is your stepdaughter's father. He should be the main parent taking care of her. But it's clear that your husband sees you more as someone to care for his daughter and take care of the house than as a wife and partner. It's like you said, if you were in your home country, you would have left him already. You know things aren't going well, and from the things you've found out he's been doing, you have more than enough reason to walk away from this marriage. I understand that you care about your stepdaughter, but don't let her be the reason you stay in an unhappy marriage with a guy who cheats on you and makes you a maid for him and his daughter. You have to think about what's the best for you too, OP. And what did you guys think of this situation? What would you do if you were OP? What advice would you give her? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Now, let's read what the comments suggest. Not the idiot, but you are a bit misguided. Your stepdaughter is not the problem, your husband is. She sounds like a normal girl of her age, of course her cleaning, etc., won't be perfect. Not having her around will not change your husband's unwillingness to help you, or his apparent lack of interest. You deserve better. Everyone sucks here. Your husband basically married you to get a free nanny, and you are treating a child like she's the problem, instead of your deadbeat husband. Not the idiot, you have become your husband's housekeeper and nanny to his child, instead of his partner. You deserve better than that. It is time to leave him. You have become your husband's servant. He is no longer interested in you, just the work you can do for him. It really is time to leave. Not the idiot. Everyone sucks here. You for marrying a man with a child when you're clearly not ready to be a step-parent, and he for treating you like a nanny and a housekeeper. And what about you guys? Do you agree with the comments? Would you advise anything else to OP? Don't forget to leave your thoughts about this situation down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, go watch the video that is appearing on the screen right now or click on one of our playlists that are in the description to watch more videos. Until next time.